I want to bring in Misty Marris, who is a trial attorney, and Areva Martin, an attorney and legal affairs commentator. Areva, this was really a preview of what we should expect to be presented during this trial. What was your biggest takeaway?
Yeah, my biggest takeaway is that this defense attorney is good, Pam. And he came out the gate and he challenged the jury to basically disregard everything they had heard from the prosecutor. He said, look, these are not facts, these are theories. And then he did something that I thought was really good. He had Mr. Murdaugh stand up and he personalized him. He said, look at this guy. This is not the guy that would butcher and brutalize his son that he was just riding around in a car with bonding. He wouldn't, shoot his son in the head so that his brains literally would, explode out of his head. And then he talked about the amount of blood that would be on anyone that executed someone in that fashion. Then he talked about the timeline, that the timeline doesn't work, that there wasn't enough time for someone to commit these brutal murders, go back to their home, clean up their body, change their clothes, and then get in the car and exit that property. So he gave the jurors lots of things that they could use to create doubt. And he basically said, look, sitting here right now, he is innocent. He did not do this. And so I think that was a very powerful opening statement by the defense attorney.
Yeah, I mean, he did everything he could in those opening arguments to try to humanize his client, right? Having him stand up, talking about what a loving and doting father he was, and that there was a Snapchat video not long before with his son where they were laughing. And then you had the prosecutor come out of the gate and talk about this video that he said was taken just before the murders at that kennel. And he says you can hear Alex's voice in that video, which undercuts what he told police, that he was in the home napping after dinner and wasn't there. How damning is that for the defendant, Misty?
So right now, what we expect to see at trial is a lot of inconsistencies, according to the prosecutor, with respect to those videos, the body cam footage that shows what Alex Murdaugh said, as opposed to what the timeline the prosecution is going to put together, all seemingly from cell phone data. This video that puts him in a place he said he was not at the time. So that's certainly going to be something that will play out. But we saw the defense get ahead of this.
Yep.
And to Areva's point, sort of flip the script and say, well, the prosecution's own experts are going to put together a timeline that simply isn't feasible. Another bombshell coming out of the defense opening statement, this foreshadowing of an alternate theory of the case. It seems like this could have been only done by two people. That's something I think we're going to see more of as this case goes on. Alternate theories proposed by the defense.
All right, I want to bring in Diane Gallagher. She is there right outside the courthouse. She's been following this. Diane, it stuck out to me. We were just talking about the cell phone data, and the defense attorney was trying to cast doubt about the data, saying that there is inconsistencies. And he had said Maggie's phone was used up until 8:54 p.m. We heard the state prosecutor, I noted, say that her phone stopped and locked, I believe, at 8:49 p.m., around the same time as Paul. So already you see the defense attorney there trying to raise doubts, poke holes in the state prosecution's argument.
Precisely, Pamela. And look, you also noticed that the defense attorney, Dick Harpootlian, said that that he asked who unlocked that phone for law enforcement, saying that it was Alex Murdaugh who unlocked Maggie Murdaugh's phone for them to go through. Now, look, the state went through a bit at the beginning explaining what the word circumstantial evidence means and telling people what reasonable doubt means, trying to go over the definitions of those specifically. That has been something that the defense has said all along, but specifically this week when going over those pretrial motions about the evidence and the experts that the prosecution wants to introduce into this trial. Talking about the fact that much of this is circumstantial. There's no smoking gun per se. They don't have the weapon. They acknowledge they do not have the weapon, although the judge did tell them they could use a ballistics expert. This was a pretrial motion, who says that the casings that were found in those around the crime scene and on the hunting property in a firing range area do match that missing weapon that is sort of at the center of all of this. Now, again, there's some discrepancy between what the defense claims and what they claim as well, something we're going to see continue on, of course, in the coming days. This could go up to 3 weeks, we're told.
Yeah, and it's interesting how both sides try to, spin whatever the evidence is in their favor, right? The 911 call, prosecutor saying, listen to this, you really listen closely. The defense attorney said, I want you to listen to that. Also emphasizing, the role that he played in opening the phone for police, and that he called Maggie's phone several times after she was killed. And, the prosecutor is saying he was trying to create an alibi. The defense saying, look, that shows you right there. He didn't know what was going on. He wasn't involved in this. So many different threads and pieces of evidence to follow in this. This is just the beginning. Diane Gallagher, Misty Marris, Areva Martin, thank you all.